cessationist.
Yeah. I think it's someone who believes that the gifts were for the New Testament church, as we kind of have recorded in Scripture.
Yeah.
But it ceased after that. It was there to establish New Testament church, but then the gifts of the Spirit ceased after that point. Yeah.
So what's like the main? I think there's a main scripture that they kind of base that on.
I think the one that I've seen is kind of that one where there's like, let's see if I can. Oh yeah, I think it says, where there are prophecies, they will cease. It's in 1 Corinthians 13. Where there are tongues, they'll be stilled. Is this the one you're thinking about?
Yes.
And where there's knowledge, it will pass away. And so they say, well, so tongues, prophecy, it's going to pass away, right? But it's interesting because knowledge hasn't passed away.
Yeah.
And if you actually just keep reading the very next verse, it says, for we know in part and prophesy in part, but when completeness comes, then what's in part disappears. And later on in verse 12, it says, for now we see only a reflection as in a mirror, but then we'll see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I'm fully known. So it's talking about like the end. It's not talking about the now. And so I look at scriptures, I just don't see any scriptural grounding that says for some reason that they've ceased. In 1 Corinthians 12, it says to each one of the manifestation of the Spirit is given. This is the Corinthians church. This is like later. This is after Jesus. This is, and other verse and 1 Corinthians says, and these are all the work of one and the same Spirit, and he distributes them, the gifts, to each one just as he determines. In Ephesians says Christ gave gifts to his people. Later on, these will continue until we all reach unity in the faith and in the knowledge of the Son of God and become mature. I don't think we're there
and
yet.
that one's super important because I agree. I don't think that we have all come into unity, and I think even the one translation that I had was when the perfect comes.
Yeah,
right. I don't think the perfect.
Yeah,
I don't think we're perfect yet.
I don't think anyone's going to look at this and go, "We're there. We're there."
Definitely, from what I can see, we're definitely not there. So it's really interesting. It's an interesting argument. Me personally, I don't believe that you would agree.
Yeah, and I think I heard one person say one time that 80% of people's theology is formed out of their pain.
Wow.
And I think sometimes people have negative experiences with things. They've seen abuses, misuses, etc. And then they try to go to Scripture and explain why that shouldn't be the case and try to write things off. Yeah. And I'm thankful. I've seen misuses and I've seen abuses. I've seen the problems with it, the excesses. But I've also seen the genuine. And I've seen how powerful it is. And so I kind of feel like, I feel like just from Scripture and from experience, I'm quite convinced that they're for today. But it's good we're talking about it because there are good ways to approach it and not.